Andre Onana made his Manchester United debut against Real Madrid, and he is getting plenty of praise for what was a very solid start to life in a Manchester United shirt. For the first time in 12 years, we saw a new first-choice goalkeeper, and the difference was there straight away. So what I'm going to do for you is run through that full performance. Give me 10 minutes of your time. We're going to look at his distribution, his positioning, his sweeping, everything, every element of his game yesterday, and all the aspects that we saw that really give us an insight into what we've got coming ahead. So make sure you drop a like on this video, get involved in the comments, let me know what you think about Onana's performance, but let's speak about it, because I tell you what, Onana was impressive. He really was. Like from a statistical perspective there straight away, top line, 95% passing accuracy. Distribution was nay a problem for Andre Onana. Surprise, surprise. Who saw that coming? But there are a few things that we should be speaking about from that game. And I think his positioning is the first, it might be the most important. You could say the distribution is just as important. But positioning-wise here, you can see the average positions of Onana compared to Real Madrid's goalkeeper. Onana on the left, Real Madrid on the right. You can see Onana is on the edge of his box. Real Madrid's is deeper. That's where Manchester United used to be with David De Gea. You can see the gap between... In fact, you can even see it here. It's actually bad. The gap between Real Madrid's goalkeeper and their two defenders is huge. Look at the gap between Onana and Varane and Martinez. That's going to make a significant difference to how Manchester United play this season. And you can see on the heat map as well there, Onana was mainly going down the left, which shouldn't come as too much of a surprise. He was playing through Martinez, and sure, he knows Martinez. So obviously he was going to look towards him. So I think that's kind of instinctive sort of thing. But look at this, right? This is his position when Manchester United were in possession. Let me see if I can pull this bad boy up here. There's Onana right there, and look how high up the pitch he is. All this space in behind him. It doesn't really matter, of course, because the ball is... Where is it? Don't know. Oh, there it is. Ball's down there. But that is something that he did all game, and it's going to make a big, big difference to how Manchester United build up this season. Now, let's get some in-game examples of how Onana played when United were in possession. You can see Martinez there, and it's interesting to watch his position here. Onana basically goes to the position where Martinez could be, but because he's there and he drops into a bit of a back three there with Luke Shaw in between him and Varane, look how high up the pitch he is, almost like a holding midfielder, it means that Martinez is free. It gives Man United the extra man. It means that United can easily play out from the back with the ball. It wasn't the only time that he did that. You can see here passing out to Luke Shaw on the left, and then he drops back and Martinez can go forward because Onana's covering the space. Onana operating in a higher position gives United an extra body. It should mean that United are so much better at playing through the press. That's one thing I would say. Here's a pass there to Martinez. Back to Varane, you can see. Look at the position he's holding. Of course, he just a little easy pass to Martinez, and Martinez goes forward. But previously, De Gea wouldn't have been there. De Gea would have been inside his own box. Man United would have had to go the whole way back and then build from the edge of the box. Instead, one pass, one turn, we're on the halfway line again. Pressure can go straight back forward. Again, it's about control in the right way here. He's in between Maguire and I think that's Lindelof towards the end of the game. Ball is passed back to him. Instead of, I suppose, taking the easy pass straight to Maguire, he cuts back inside. And then from here, the easy pass there. Who's that? Is that? I have no idea who that is. Is that Ericsson? 35? Brandon Williams? Maybe it might be Brandon Williams. No, he takes the tougher pass to Maguire, who is in much better space. That's kind of what he did all game, really. His distribution was spot on. His positioning was spot on. And it made a big, big difference. This is crucial. And probably the most crucial aspect, I would say, that made De Gea's weaknesses obvious is what happened when he got pressed last season. In this situation, you can see Ericsson drops in between. It's not the hardest pass in the world. It's just not really a pass that De Gea would take on. Onana does it, no problem. United get possession there. Here, he's going to get pressed straight away as soon as the ball comes to him from Luke Shaw. What does he do? Passes straight through the gap to Varane. Again, it's not the most difficult pass in the world, but it's just not something that De Gea did it occasionally. Cool. Onana is going to consistently, every single game, this is how he's going to play. This is just some of this stuff that he did in this game is not groundbreaking. De Gea did some stuff, but he then reverted to his character. Onana won't. This is the first example of probably hundreds across the course of this season, right? Another example here, Onana receives the ball and a lovely sweeping pass over that gap into the space. Again, look, you can see where Maguire's hand is. Maguire is over there saying, look, is that Maguire? I think it's Maguire. Telling him to pass it over there to Diogo Dalot. Maguire gets ignored. The ball comes down there to Brandon Williams. Onana sees passes, has the ability to craft that pass as well. So from a distribution perspective, he was pretty much flawless yesterday. As I said, if you go back through, I think it was 95% accuracy. From a positioning perspective, that's where I saw the biggest difference for Manchester United. I go back to this slide here, and I think it's probably one of the most striking slides is this one, right? That position, where he holds that position. How much he allows Man United to play with a higher line. It's something that I was really looking forward to seeing, and it's something that you saw pretty much in abundance in that first game. Now, I'm more interested to see what happens when Onana gets into situations like this in the Premier League, because we're going to get... I wouldn't say that Real Madrid massively pressed us yesterday. There were fleeting moments, but they were more willing to play in the transition, and they were so good at it. Onana's confident and comfortable enough to cope with those situations where you are under pressure. I'm looking forward to seeing what comes next in that sense. But moving on to the next aspect of his game, and probably certainly a massive part of De Gea's weaknesses was to do with claiming aerial balls. Dominance inside is, can he come and claim across? Now, there are a couple of examples yesterday. I wouldn't say it was the best in the world, but it kind of showed that he's got the willingness and the aggression, right? And then he goes up for the ball here, doesn't exactly claim it, but it goes out for a corner. But he doesn't just let it. He doesn't just let, who is that? Is that Marcus Rashford? I think that's Marcus Rashford. He doesn't just let his defenders deal with it. He gets involved. De Gea didn't always do that, right? A situation here, Onana comes and he claims. Again, De Gea may have done that, but this is not. I don't want people to be just straight up comparing the two. I don't really want to talk about De Gea anymore, and I don't mean that in an offensive way. I want to talk about all the characteristics I see now in Andre Onana. They're different types of keepers. Claiming crosses are good. And this one was a bit of a funny one. Did you see this in the second half? Andre Onana running what? 20 yards out of his own box to get a header. It was the 87th minute. United were chasing that equaliser. But he wasn't afraid to come up there and squeeze that space. So I think overall, Andre Onana will be very happy with his Manchester United debut. I think from a statistical perspective, the numbers speak for themselves. 95% passing accuracy, 5 long balls. He made a couple of good saves as well. One from, I think it was Rodrigo in particular, down to his left-hand side, strong left hand. There has been so much talk and so much hype about how will Onana get on? How long will it take him to settle? How will Manchester United play with him in the team? He'll settle in straight away, is the answer to that. Manchester United, in particular Martinez, will know exactly how to play with him. He gives United the ability to create the extra man when building out from the back because he operates more like a holding midfielder style position. That will always give United a numerical advantage and make it easier for United to play through the press, which was probably our biggest weakness in the build-up last season. And one of the fundamental reasons why Erik ten Hag signed him. But not only was he doing that, the distribution was spot on. As I said, we took a look at the positioning. You can see here how high his average position was compared to Real Madrid's goalkeeper. I can't wait to see him in the Premier League. I think it was a solid debut from him. I don't think he made any real mistakes at all. I think he impressed in all the areas I thought he would impress in. And I only think he's going to get better and better and better with time. And everybody playing with him will really start to understand him. What did you think of Onana's debut? I hope you've learned a thing or two. If you didn't get to watch the game, I hope you now understand the positives of Onana's game, and I showed you the in-game examples. Please drop a like on the video, and can I say a big shout out to Steve for helping me with the research for these types of videos. They're some of my favourites. I love to bring genuine analysis so we can all learn and understand United's players and how we're playing. So big up to Steve, and big up to everyone. And Onana. Yes, please.